Hey there, and thanks for coming to see what's on my desk today. I had a request from my friend who, with her family, her mother and father, they came from North Carolina up to my area and they found an old ramshackle building in town and they uh, built it into one of the best radio stations around. I mean, her dad was a visionary, he was very skilled at what he did. He had had practice down in North Carolina. So he came up and he got two different ones, the FM and the AM stations, going. And they worked there for years and years. And it was a wonderful station. Um, I wanted to help her out. She's making books. They're a style of junk journal, but they're on a larger version because she's making a couple of books for her mother, and her mother was the secretary to her father, so they both worked hand in hand there at the station. Um, she's coming up with all these wonderful ideas and stuff for it. Well, I had remembered the on air um, that would be above the broadcast room. Uh, the person, DJ, they would go in there. When they started their broadcast, they would put the on air sign on, and it was white and then it would be red when they were on the air. Well, with paper, you can't do a light up of any kind. So I had to come up with a way. There was a girl that had done something with a flashlight and those Tim Holtz cats one time. And I thought that was such a neat idea. This is a form of that. But what I wanted to do was to create a pocket. And that's what I did here. I created a pocket for the red to go into. It's white otherwise, and hopefully it's sort of invisible. So you were to glue this pocket down on the three sides. This would be up behind it. Then I've got a pull me on there. I guess that's so they would pull it, and then they're supposed to put it in here, and it becomes on the air. When you pull it out, it's invisible again. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. You could do this for birthday cards, children's cards, anything like that. You can conform it in any way you would want. Um, the way I started was I did a cutout on a piece that was about 2 inches this way and about 5.5 this way. It just had to be a little bit bigger than the actual letter area. So I did my die cutting, and then when I found out when I did my die cutting, I saw my problem. Uh, these are the positive parts. I needed the negative part, but my pieces fell out of the O, the A, and the R. So I had to come up with some way to put those back in there so it would look like a decent letter. And so that's where I come about with having this little piece of plastic that came off of the top of some stamps or something, and it's very pliable. It's not like acetate where that's really hard and heavy. This is very light. So what you would do is you would do like a glue outline around everything and glue that down to this. And then you're able to put a dot of glue in there where you need it. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my tweezers and dot it in the glue, and then I'll touch that, and oh look, it's still got a little glue on it from before. And you're able to get it in there where it's very hard to maneuver, and then you have to adjust it to get it straight before it dries. Then I trimmed that down around the outside of that, and my frame itself here is 6.5 this way and 3 this way. No, I'm sorry, 6.25. Your back is 6.5 because it's got to be just a little bit longer than the front. So, I mean, you can play with your dimensions and stuff if you need to. The frame itself is between a half and 3/4. I'm not good with fractions, so You can do a skinnier frame at a half or a thicker frame at 3/4, just as long as your letters are still showing. So I thought that would be a very neat idea and something different to add to your journals. Um, it's a little on the longer side for a journal though, since it's 6.5. Uh, but with her scrapbooking album, it would be fine. So in the case of if you wanted to use it for scrapbooking or a card, you just have to work on a smaller scale. And you can always just judge it. That's what I did here with the frame and with the back. As long as the cutout area is the same color as the back and it blends like that, you're fine. It'll all work. But when I put my information in on here, I'll try to put this um, the dimensions into the notes area so you'll have it to look at there. But I thank you for coming to visit me today. I hope you were able to get inspired and got an idea from something that I did here. And please give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to come up with new ideas, something different that you just don't see every day. And I'm going to have a few more flip throughs of some new journals I just did. Well, thank you very much, and come back and see me again.